Hey, what's up, peeps? This your boy at No More Gang Stalking. Now, this is the railway, the VTA railway mass shootings in San Jose. This is the one that Neppy Headed Roots used to always go and protest on his loudspeaker about. Um, this guy was targeted, and he was being harassed by his his coworkers. So he retaliated, right? You know, and he went for certain people, right? He'll run up on, no, I don't want you, right? He went for certain people, right? He went and he expired certain people. So let's see what this is talking about.
Investigators are trying to figure out why a transit employee brought weapons to a rail yard in San Jose yesterday and killed 9 people. In the wake of the latest mass shooting in America, President Biden ordered flags lowered at half staff in honor of the victims. Police say the gun.
And just to say this, you see President Biden right now, they talking about, all this gun control, right? So yeah, Samuel Cassidy, right? So now they talking about gun control. So, it's always a plot behind all these mass shootings, right? Basically for more gun control, right? Because if they can take your guns and they can really enslave you.
Was 57-year-old Samuel Cassidy, the Valley Transportation Authority employee, killed himself as.
And they blame this all on mental illness and schizophrenia.
Officers rushed to the scene. The shooting happened early yesterday morning during a shift change. Again, 9 other employees were killed. Joining us now from San Jose is CBS News national correspondent Jamie Yukas. Hi, Jamie. So what are investigators saying today about the gunman, and have you learned more about the circumstances leading up to yesterday's shooting?
Yeah, we just got finished talking to the sheriff here, and she had some very interesting comments about things that they are trying to now investigate and learn from. They went ahead and they have done search warrants both to look through the suspect's email, his social media postings, and over at the house where that fire started at almost the exact same time that the shooting began here at the rail yard. So we know that they are starting to sift through all of those things. The sheriff also said something interesting. It turns out that he had 39 shots. He fired 39 shots with 2 semi-automatic handguns, but he had 11 magazine rounds. So as she said, this could have been much, much worse. Her deputies were getting on scene just at the same time that the shooting was still taking place. He was still firing shots. They were able to corner him, and that's when he did kill himself with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So we do know that that's what occurred and that there was a lot more ammunition. They are looking into seeing if the guns themselves were legally purchased. They don't have that information quite yet, but they would have been able to be legally purchased here in the state of California. What would have been illegal is the size of those magazines and just how many rounds he would have had on him at the time to be able to fire off. So they're looking at those as well. 9 people were shot, and it turns out all 9 people did die. So we had heard yesterday several other people were injured. It turns out once they started sifting through everything and getting the numbers in, that the 9 people shot are the 9 people who were killed, and everyone else has been accounted for at this point in time. So you still have multiple crime scenes. I can tell you we actually have to move from this location in a little bit here because the FBI has arrived with some more teams on the ground from different locations across the United States, and they're going to be going in and taking a look and sizing things. So we're going to have to leave this spot and just a little bit so that they can get in and do that. So this very much still an active investigation at this point, Tanya.
You said there are 9 people who were killed.
Gang stalkers.
One of those victims, were they recently deceased? Because we had the number 8 yesterday, and we knew some were in the hospital. You said that
these are the
9
people that they so
died.
Good they'll give you the jacket off their back and all this, right?
Yeah, what happened is that yesterday, when
and they family, the cold part is they families know that they doing it.
The deputies in the police department both went in at the same time. They've done a number of trainings, it turns out. The sheriff also telling us that just recently they trained in the rail yard, both with the VTA employees, but also with sheriff's deputies and the police department. And so when they went in, they've re-coordinated how they go inside too and do this. But when they saw the victims, they started pulling them out. They were able to get 2 people into ambulances and over to the hospital. hospital who were not inside. Both of those victims ended up passing away. One we learned about very early in the day to make up that total of 8, and then overnight we learned that the 9th person who had been pulled out at that point in time and taken to the hospital had succumbed to their injuries.
They was
So,
harassing
yes,
this man. You feel me? You know,
morning.
he went strictly for them. He didn't want. He ran up on people. No, you're not the one I want. People just don't do this just to do it. They're being harassed, man.
You were watching as well, but there was a VTA press conference that took place, the Valley Transportation Authority.
You got to look at the world with whole new eyes.
Hearing it described as a really tight-knit family of people, and I think when you started listening to that press conference and hearing just so many connections between people, that some people had gone to junior high with some of their coworkers and now had lost them in this shooting that took place here yesterday. So just hearing the stories, you can tell that the VTA is being very careful as to how they return to operations. I can tell you light rail is used pretty predominantly in this area. San Jose, the 10th largest city in this country. I today was downtown San Jose and noticed that there were signs up that people could take buses, but the light rail is still not up and running and may not be for some time. There's also a vigil happening later tonight that will happen at City Hall here in San Jose. So I'm sure we will hear just more stories and be learning more about the people whose lives were lost and just